Those of you that know Ken Grant, I mean, this guy, if you want to know who the who's who are on Twitter, just look at his friend list and you're going to have that. Ken Grant has worked in Delaware media, politics, and industry for more than 20 years. In addition to his day job at the sales and marketing director for a Delaware manufacturer of lab supplies, Ken is actively involved with a variety of organizations from the Delaware Bioscience Association to the World Trade Center, Delaware, to the Technology Forum of Delaware, to Family Promise, an organization that helps homeless children and families. Please help me welcome Ken Grant.
Woo!
Is this on? Okay, thank you. Good evening, and yes, I'm recording you while you're recording me. How cool is this? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to January 2009 when Whitney Hoffman, who is a superhero, there's some of her supplies right there, taught me how to use social media, and my world was completely rocked. Within a few months, I found myself hooked up with some of you people here, putting together the first Delaware Tweet Up. NPR's Scott Simon, Chicago Sun-Times. I mean, it was just awesome. By the end of 2009, I looked back and said, wait a minute. There's been a lot of really cool things that have happened just by serendipity, without effort, without initiative. What if we put effort and initiative behind this? Hence, the Delaware Social Media Initiative, where we're trying to connect businesses, nonprofits, arts organizations, everybody throughout Delaware, and as you can see, it's been embraced. These are some of the training sessions that have been going on up and down the state through Chambers of Commerce, through the World Trade Center. Of course, Lee with Archer Group helped put together some great stuff. It's just been incredible. This thing has been embraced by a lot of people. Businesses are connected, arts organizations connected, nonprofits are connected, individuals. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that some of our elected officials are jumping on board with all of this. Some of you might have seen Governor Markell here earlier tonight. Let's see, there's Congressman Castle. Take a look at that picture up on the left there. That's Representative Tom Kovac tweeting during a press conference at a bill signing. How cool is that? But yes, I do have ulterior motives. See, I think that we can do more than just connect businesses and nonprofits and everything. We can actually change the way things operate in our society. I want to change the images that we grew up with. George Orwell and Ray Bradbury gave us some pretty scary images of what happens when government mixes with technology. I think we can change all that around. You see, this is what we're used to. We have to kind of beg the bureaucrats to do the right thing. The reality is we should be better bosses, and we'll get to the boss situation in just a minute. What happened is a funny thing happened on the way to the future. The reason that Ray Bradbury and all those other guys were writing about this stuff was they saw computers as these big things that took up an entire room or a building or whatever, and that only a government agency could maintain them. Of course, today, we've got technology that all of us can maintain, which means every individual has the power of the printing press, a radio broadcast tower, or C-SPAN in the palm of their hands. That's a huge change and shift in the way that our future is looking. But with the great power that we have, we also have great responsibility. You see, our government is supposed to work for us, which means we're supposed to be the bosses. There's a slight problem with that, though. We're not a good boss. Just like these bosses here, our problem is cluelessness. I mean, the fact is, a lot of us really don't know how bills become law. We don't know what's happening on the inside. We don't know budget process. We don't know a lot of stuff. The responsibility is ours to kind of get to know the system a little bit better, to figure out how these things work and how these things operate. Then we'll be able to legitimately hold their feet to the fire and make sure that they're doing the right thing. So, we have a to-do list. Oh yes, we do have the technology. We can make our government better, stronger, faster. Anybody recognize what that's from? All right. And that's the only reason the word stronger is in there is because of the $6 million man thing there. So, our to-do list is simple. Number one, get to know your employees. Folks, this is Delaware. If you don't know your elected official, you've got to be trying not to know them. Really, you should be running into them at the coffee shop. You should be able to hang out with them at their office. Get to know them. Get to know the system. We've all seen these cases where they can vote one way but tell the constituents, hey, I tried my best, you know how it works. You really need to get to know how a bill becomes law, how the budget process works, and the whole bit. Next, communicate. That means really listen, really pay attention, really know what's happening, and share that information with others. Don't be afraid to say, hey, by the way, did you know this bill is coming up, or so-and-so is doing such and such. Fill in the blanks. So if we do all this, we can have an improved state government, a lean government on the local, county, and state levels, a more informed, educated, and active public. That's us. Anybody with me on this? Anybody? Okay, just want to make sure. I am convinced that just with this group here, if we all start engaging at a whole new level, we could see a totally different state of Delaware in the coming months. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, and thank you so much for coming out tonight.